Hey everybody, it's Cal here from Wise Guys Tutoring. Welcome back. We're about to do our second video, which is about solving two-step algebraic equations. So if you haven't checked out our first video on the one-step algebraic equations, I highly recommend you check it out. Anyway, I'll do a quick review here for you guys. So when we're talking about operations and their inverses, right? So we're talking about inverses. What we mean is when you have addition, the inverse or opposite of that is subtraction. And the inverse or opposite of subtraction is addition. And for multiplication, it's division. And the inverse or opposite of division is multiplication. And what we were talking about was that what it means is that these ones undo each other. These pairs all undo each other, meaning each pair over here basically undoes the other. Why is that important? It's because when we are solving an equation, we're trying to get the x all alone. So let's take an example here. Okay. Now the reason this is a two-step equation is simple. It's because I have one operation, which is adding the 2, and I have a second operation, which is 3 multiplying the x. Now what we're going to try to do is get rid of this one first. We got to think of these guys as a couple, and maybe this guy's just the third wheel. So what we're going to do first is get rid of that third wheel. Now we can see obviously from the left side, since it's a plus 2, then we're going to use negative 2 to get rid of it. So we do minus 2 here on the left, and jealous brother on the right always says me too, me too, me too. So we got to give him the exact same thing. There it is. Now 2 and minus 2, obviously they undo each other. So what happens is that they're gonna cancel out. What I have remaining now on the left side is 3x, and on the right I have 8 minus 2. This means that 3x is equal to 6. So what I've done essentially is I've reduced it now. I've reduced it to a one-step operation, which is fantastic because we know exactly how to solve them. Looking on the left, since I have 3 multiplied by x, I need to divide to get rid of it. Now, some students always make this mistake. They'll end up dividing both sides by 6. Now, how do you know if you're supposed to divide by 6 or you're supposed to divide by 3? Well, you just got to think about the number that's multiplying the x. What is the number I'm trying to get rid of? I'm trying to get rid of that 3. The 3 is multiplying my x, and that's what I'm trying to get rid of. So that's what I'll divide by. I'll divide both sides by 3. There you go. They cancel out as usual. What I'm left with is x equals 6 divided by 3, or 6 over 3, meaning that x is equal to 2. Are we done? No, we are not. We always got to check, right? So how do we check? We put our original equation in here. 3x plus 2 equals 8. And then I'll just substitute in my value of x that we found. So I'll say 3 times 2 plus 2 equals 8. This gives me 6 plus 2 equals 8. And again, if they equate, then we're good. They equate, double 8. You did great. X equals 2. So that's a basic two-step equation. So why don't I get rid of this one and let's try another one. Let's say, for example, we had one with a division. So let's say we had x over 3 minus 7 equals 5. Okay? Now remember, this first one here is a happy couple. They're holding hands, while this guy is sort of a third wheel, right? So first I want to get rid of the third wheel before I can get started. And looking on the left, since I have minus 7, I'm going to have to do plus 7 to get rid of him. So if I say plus 7, and my jealous guy on the right, he always says, me too, me too, me too, we're going to have to give him a plus 7. And now we look at the left. Minus 7 and plus 7, they cancel each other out. What do I have left is x over 3 equals 5 plus 7. And x over 3 equals 12. Now again, what I've done is reduced it to a one-step algebraic equation, and that to me is very simple. If I have x over 3, or in other words x divided by 3, then I have to use multiplication to cancel it out. Now it's being divided by 3, right? So I'm not going to go multiplying by 12 because that wouldn't do me any good. If I'm trying to get rid of the 3, then I'm going to need to multiply by 3. Jealous guy says, me too, me too, me too. These 3's undo each other. What I'm left with is x equals 12 times 3. And that means that x is equal to 36. Let's check ourselves. Check, check, check. So I'll put my original equation in here, which is x over 3 minus 7 equals 5. Let's substitute in my value of 36. And 36 over 3 minus 7 equals 5. 36 over 3 is 12. So 12 minus 7 is 5. 5 equals 5. Boom. Boom, I say. There you go. X equals 36. We got the answer. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of, typical, very common mistakes that students tend to make, because I don't want you guys to make them. One thing, let's take another example. So let's say we had the, 2x plus 3 equals 9 or something like that. So one typical thing students would like to do is start with the couple first. They'd like to break up the couple rather than get rid of the third wheel. So what happens is that they think they can, it's multiplied by 2, so they'd like to divide by 2 and divide by 2. But the problem here is you can't just divide this term by 2. Oh, no, no, no. You got to do the entire side divided by 2. That means he needs to be divided by 2 as well. And what happens is that these two cancel out. But is this really the equation you're trying to solve? 3 over 2 equals 9 over 2? Not really. Okay, going the other way is a lot better. So if I have 2x plus 3 equals 9, I'm much better off getting rid of my third wheel first. So let's get rid of this guy. Minus 3. Jealous guy says, me too, me too, me too. These cancel each other out. I get 2x equals 9 minus 3, which is 2x equals 6. Now this is a lot cleaner. It's a one-step operation that I can manage more easily than that one up there. Okay, so that's the idea. So let's get going with an example here. 7 minus 2x equals 1. And before we start, I just want to talk about something here. This negative over here, okay, this negative is not shared between the terms. He doesn't belong to the equation. He belongs to this term. Okay, so wherever this minus 2x goes, that negative is with them. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. So again, let's try this technique. We're going to keep the couple together and we'll try to get rid of that third wheel. Okay, now how do I get rid of that 7? Well, when you don't see the sign, it's actually a positive, right? This is a plus 7, but at the beginning of the equation, we just don't write the plus. You can just assume that that's a positive. How do I get rid of this plus 7? You guessed it. Minus 7. Minus 7 on both sides. Now these 7's cancel out. And what I have left is not 2x. Remember, it's minus 2x. That negative, I told you, belongs to the 2x. So he's there to stay. Now 1 minus 7. So if you know your negative numbers, you take the difference between them, which is 6, and take the sign of the bigger number, which is negative 7. So we're going to make it negative 6. Okay? And again, we're now at a one-step operation. So to get rid of the multiplier here, the multiplier of my x is negative 2. If you divide by 2, it's simply not enough. You need to divide by negative 2 on both sides. This negative 2 cancels this negative 2 and leaves me with an x on the left. Minus 6 divided by minus 2 leads me to x equals 3. Okay, we can do another example here. X, or how about we throw in another negative here? X over 2 plus 5 equals 3. Okay, I'm kind of messing with you guys a little bit with the negatives, but you know, it's just good to practice. So here is the couple, and here is the third wheel that we're going to try to get rid of. So let's start with that third wheel. Okay, we get a plus 5, and to get rid of him we do minus 5. Me too, me too, me too, says the jealous brother, and he gets a minus 5 too. These two cancel out. We're left with minus x over 2 equals 3 minus 5. Now again, when you're subtracting these numbers, you take the difference, which is 2, and you give it the sign of the larger number, which was the 5. You had a negative 5, right? So you get minus x over 2 equals minus 2. Now, you need to understand that this is the same as writing x divided by minus 2. That minus can go on the numerator or on the denominator, and it won't make a difference. So if we assume it's on the denominator, then I'll need to multiply both sides by negative 2 in order to cancel it out. Now what I have left is x on the left equals negative 2 times negative 2. Two negatives multiplied give you a positive, and 2 times 2 will give me a 4. So the answer here is a positive 4. So let's do a quick recap here. Maybe get rid of these guys. So if we have a, two-step equation like 3x minus 5 equals 4, for example, you need to think about it like this. We have this couple here, which is holding hands, and this third wheel over here. And you always got to try to get rid of that third wheel first. So this is a plus 5, and me too, me too, me too gets a plus 5 as well. When that cancels out, you're left with 3x equals 9. And remember, now it's a one-step operation. When it's multiplied by 3, I'll just divide by 3 on both sides. Now I can get this x all alone. X equals 9 over 3. And I got my answer. Remember, always got to check. And the way we're going to check is simple. You put your original equation, then you substitute your value of x in here. So you get 3 times 3. And hopefully this equates 9 minus 5. And it looks like it does. So our answer of x equals 3 is totally correct. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video on solving two-step equations. The next video will probably cover the three-step equations, of course, but I want you guys to practice these and master it before we move on to the third. The concept is the same, just a tiny bit different. And as usual, don't worry, I'm going to show you all about it. So thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.